Right, welcome back to Diesel Dave's YouTube channel. Hope everybody's fine. At the moment I'm on holiday in Scarborough. I've just come across this nice little railway here, North Bay Railway. Got a couple of guys there, very nice. They're going to be speaking to us shortly. Just got one of the engines coming out. It's about to start the day out. I think the centre road's at 10:30. They've got 4 diesels here. Just about to bring one out now, and they're going to speak to Phil soon. So something to look forward to. Here she comes. This one is coming out. She's about, I think it was her 90th anniversary, so she's quite old. Built in 1931 to 2021. And it's Neptune coming out. This is Phil, the driver. Love what he does. Gets involved in that. Right, I'm just going to go and speak to him now. Right, let's just turn the engine off now. Right, this is Phil. He runs the North Bay Railway here. He's got 4 engines he was telling me about, and he's going to show me a bit about these. So this is the first one. So this one here, Phil, what's this one?
So this one is Neptune. She was built for the railway by Clark back in 1931. At the moment we think she's the oldest working diesel hydraulic locomotive in the world. Pioneering technology by Clark. She turned 90 on the 23rd of May. So our gala at the end of September, we use that as a big celebration. Neptune's only ever really been here. She spent 2 weeks at the National Railway Museum on display at Railfest, but she didn't do anything. She was just a static exhibit then. Originally she would have been apple green. I think it was about early 2000 she was repainted into this dark green livery. I think in 2008, around that time, it was sort of modified and resembled a bit more of a BR style of livery.
Right. So we got a few more in here, Phil, haven't we? What's these ones in here?
We have. So the first one we're going to see, this red one, which is what Steve's is lovely cleaning. This is Robin Hood. So right. She's the second oldest engine on the railway. She was originally built for the Golden Acre Park Railway in Leeds, opened in 1932, but sadly closed in 1938. Led a bit of a nomadic life and then eventually ended up here in 2006.
Right. So
been around a bit.
Right, then we got 2 at the back here. Who's this gentleman here working hard?
This gentleman here working hard is Steve. He's the general manager.
All right.
All right.
So you got a good idea looking after all these trains, and these customers are coming to see you day in day.
Yes. Yeah, we just won't get down to it now after 90 years.
Right. So you run a service here every day, is it?
Every day till end of October, yeah.
Right. So that's like, how long's the? Is it a mile long? You say the run?
Yeah, around a mile, yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got 2 over the back here. What's these 2 here?
Right. So we'll look at this one first. This happens to be an A3-ish Pacific. So this one's Triton. So this was the second engine that was built for the railway. Again, 1932.
Right.
Pretty much near enough the same as Neptune. There are slight differences between the 2 of them. Mostly cosmetic. But again, Triton's 89 years old and she's never left the railway, apart from visits to Clark for overhaul. She's always been here.
All right, so that's the protocol. That's nice to see you. And this nice blue one here.
So this nice blue one is Poseidon. This is sort of like the sister engine to Robin Hood. It was originally built for the Golden Acre Park Railway. The story with this goes is that Mr. Thompson, who owned Golden Acre Park Railway, Golden Acre Park Amusement, had Robin Hood, came to Scarborough, saw our 2 engines, went back to Clark and said, I want one of the Scarborough engines, build me one, and I want it in 6 weeks. 6 weeks to the day, it was delivered to the railway. Modern day equivalent costs, it was just over £100,000. So when you spend that amount of money on it, you name it after your wife. Right. So until it came here in 2006, it was called May Thompson. We renamed it Poseidon to be in keeping with our other 2 Pacifics. And recently, back in the 2018, it was repainted
Well, it's a lovely colour.
It's a lovely colour.
Nice and clear and bright.
In fact, the year after we did Triton as well. So the paint that these two are in is it's 2-pack paint. So it's like car paint. The lining on it is actually hand painted. So we got it back as just like a plain base coat livery. And one of our volunteers, who sadly moved on to another railway now, he spent many hours in the dark after running trains painting the lining on it by hand.
Well, he's done a really good job there.
He's only dedicated to his craft, and he's a lovely bloke.
Whereas
Robin Hood and Neptune, we can still clean those using diesel and oil. These ones we have to use car polish.
all right. Well, you've done such a good job in here. Very pleased.
Machines.
Well,
In terms of engines, Robin Hood in 1981 was fitted with a Lister HL3, so it's about 55 horsepower, but it's a reconditioned one from the late 50s, early 60s.
right.
This one's got a 3-cylinder Deutz engine in it, so this is about 50 horsepower.
Right.
2 Scarborough engines, they've got 4-cylinder Kubota V2003T diesel engines in, rated for 45 horsepower. Originally, all these engines would have had Dorman engines in. They were on about 2 cylinders. And no, the history, the 2 Scarborough engines were originally 26 horsepower Dorman 2DS engines. And in the 50s, they were given another 2-cylinder Dorman engine, but it was
Right.
the 2DL Mark III. That was about 35 horsepower, 36 horsepower. And in 1967, the last time they were overhauled by Hudswell Clark, they were given 3-cylinder Perkins engines, again about 36 horsepower.
What-
And it wasn't until 1998 that they've got the engines that they've got now.
What was the gauge again you said on this, Phil?
So the gauge for this is quite unique, it's 20 inches.
20 inches.
Which sadly means we can't have any visiting engines or send our locos
Right.
anywhere else.
Because these are
except for
standard
static
made for this
display.
thing up, yeah.
Originally, Scarborough Council wanted to put tenders out for a 15-inch gauge steam railway,
Yeah.
pretty much on a similar ilk to like Romney and Ravenglass. One of the tenders was Hudswell Clark.
Yeah.
Hudswell Clark went, "Oh, we can build you a thing that looks like a steam engine, but it'd be a diesel, so it'll just be switch on and go. Be a lot easier than faffing about with a steam engine,
Right.
and a lot cheaper." So Scarborough Council went with that. The only drawback was they couldn't fit the engine in a 15-inch gauge locomotive, so they made it slightly bigger. So they're slightly representative of third scale ish. So they're a bit bigger than Romney engines, which are quarter scale but with beefed up valve gear.
Right. So thank you very much, Phil, for your
problem.
time. And hope you have a good day today with the trains out. And I hope people enjoy what they see.
I'll try my best.
Appreciate you very much for this. And this is Diesel Dave saying goodbye.